Okay, I did a bunch of problems on IXL. Didn't see any where you had to find the angle, even though I did mention you could do it side, side, side. So let's just do one for you. It's just a lot of algebra, but I'm gonna use the formula. Okay, so let's go and call this little a, let's call this b, let's call this c. All right, I made a note in my notes that when you're using the law of sines and you're trying to find an angle, you should always try to find the largest angle first, right? So which one of these is the largest angle? All right, that's a little rule you got to follow. When it's a law of sines, you do the smallest angle. It's the law of cosines, you do the largest angle. Okay, well, which one's the largest angle? You guys could tell by my lovely diagram that it's angle A. Just verify, is 15 the biggest side? Yeah, then A should be the largest angle, right? So that's what I want to do. I want to find A. I'm going to use the formula, right? It's what? A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2 times BC, and then doing the cosine of A, all right? There's my formula. I'm just going to plug everything in, start working on it. So 15 squared, 6 squared, 10 squared, minus 2, all right? That's going to be, we'll do 6 times 10, and then we're going to have the cosine of, I don't know what it is, I'm going to do cosine of A, because we're trying to find the largest angle. Just remember, when you're trying to find an angle, what do? You use the inverse, okay? All right. I got to go through and do all this math, right? 15 squared is 225, right? This is 36 plus 100. This is minus, okay? That's going to be 120 because 2 times 6 times 10 is 120, right? Okay? And I got the cosine of A. So do you see how like all I'm doing is I just squared them all. I did 2 times 6 times 10. I got 120, and I'm going to leave it like that. And listen, it's all about solving an equation, right? Okay, so I did this, I did this, I did these 3 things here, and I did that. And now I'm going to add these 2 together to get 136. I'm going to have 225 minus 120 cosine of A. And this is what I'm going to end up doing. I'm going to subtract 136, subtract 136, okay? I'm going to get that. I'm going to get negative 120 cosine A. And then I'm going to get this, right? 225 minus 136. This is 89. Then I'm going to divide by 120 because it's like an equation. There's a subtraction. I got to move that over. And then basically I got to divide this out. So I'm going to divide 89 divided by negative 120. I get negative 0.74166. Okay, and that equals a cosine of A, and then you got to do the inverse. So I got to do the cosine of negative 1, and you know what? I just got to take this and I got to pop it in the calculator. So that's what my angle is going to end up being. So whoops, all right, and let's see what I get when I do the cosine of negative 0.74666. I don't know, I'm doing it. So I end up getting that my angle A is going to be 138 degrees, right? And I guess I'm just going to leave it like that. It's 138 degrees. And basically, it's just algebra. I plugged in the formula, I used the formula, I plugged in the numbers, but then from here, it's like, all right, I got to square them. I add these 2 together, the plus, subtract it over, I get 89. I multiply these to get that, but it's kind of like, consider this as being like an x, like the cosine, right? Consider that as an x. It's negative 120x. So I subtract that over, then I divide what's in front of the cosine, divide it out. I got negative blah, blah, blah. And then whenever you want to find an angle, you got to use the inverse. So I took whatever the decimal was, plugged it in my calculator, did the inverse, and I got 138. So the biggest angle in this triangle is 138. And so it's hard. Now, when I did IXL, I did like 10 questions. I never got one of these, all right? And, Chris, you said you got one, so I just wanted to show everyone the video for it. All right, thanks.